Hello there everyone and welcome to a brand new playthrough. I'm the Jackalman, and today, and indeed for the next probably about a fortnight, we are playing through Phantasy Star 2, one of the big JRPGs on the Sega Genesis console. The closest thing it had to a competitor to the likes of Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a storyline here. Usually with these playthroughs I do a little bit of practice before I start to kind of get to grips with things. I haven't with this because, a big thing with JRPGs is the storyline and the likes of it. So I figured I'll go in blind, see what's going on. Over 1,000 years passed since the evil Elastic was defeated by Alice and friends. I believe events occurring in the original Phantasy Star, which was on the Master System. Now, I will admit that I have got a guide up, because this is a famously rather obtuse game, as a lot of older JRPGs were. To be fair though, this is actually one of the cases where it's a bit more accurate to how a person would play when the game originally came out, because the game actually did come with a guide in the manual in a lot of regions and in a lot of prints and editions. So in reality, this is actually pretty fair going in my eyes, having a guide to figure out where we're going. It does look like we are going to get the full backstory in this opening crawl instead of just a little snippet of gameplay. So we're seeing what's going on. Mother Brain. Probably not the one from Metroid. Looks like there are plenty of Mother Brains back there. I'm assuming that this is our world map to some extent. People of the Algo system perhaps became soft in the long years of peace. So we had a bunch of people go and defeat some big evil. The world was saved. We've had 1,000 years of peace. And now we've got this big Mother Brain AI system or whatever, producing this luscious planet where a bunch of people have gotten weak and feeble as a result. Who will be able to unlock Algo's fateful secret? I imagine that responsibility likely falls to us. Now let's actually begin this time. Let me check the backup data. And fantastically, this is the first game that we've had actual save states in. We can actually save our game in this one. We're not just having to cheat in between episodes. Let's start. Oh, still not starting? Am I pressing back or something? Is that what's going on? There we are. Right. Took a while, but finally we got here. Right. I generally don't like playing JRPGs, naming the characters after myself or whatever, so looking at the guide, it appears that the main character's name is Rolf. Don't know whether it's short for something, but whatever the case is, that is the name we're going to go with. Our character is going to be named Rolf. Let's see, where's the last one? There it is. And let's get into it. I'm haunted by nightmares every night. A young girl is battling a giant demon. I'm close by but can't move or speak. All I can do is watch while the demon keeps striking at the girl. It seems that this might be a flashback to the original Phantasy Star. According to the guide, this is the main character. This girl here looks quite a lot like the main character of that game, Alice. Just as she is fighting for her life, I awake. And then this is our character. This is Rolf. I awake in my room, dimly lit by the early dawn. I'm filled with an incredible sadness and fear. I am Rolf, in all capitals. An agent here in Paseo, the capital of Mota. Shake my head as if to scatter the remnants of the dream. No time to worry like a child about nightmares in this modern age, especially with a mother brain planning and controlling all aspects of the environment. Open my window, take a deep breath of fresh air. Seems to wash away the bad feelings left by my dream. And here we are in the overworld. This is the capital Paseo. This is how a lot of the cutscenes are going to be, just little snippets of the characters. Apparently this is the governor. Good morning, Rolf. How are you? Almost 2 years have passed since you started working for me, the commander of Mota. What am I going to ask you to do will be the toughest job you have ever done, but it is vital to the future of Mota. As you know, Algo has been brought up by Mother Brain. My work as a commander has been to smoothly promote the plans of Mother Brain. I'd believed that Mother Brain never makes mistakes, but those monsters all over Mota are just too much. We must find out by ourselves why those monsters were born and how to bring them under control. Rolf, your mission is to go to the biosystems lab and get the recorder. If we look into the data, we can figure out how the biosystems lab ended up making those monsters. Rolf, I hope from the bottom of my heart that you come back safely with the recorder. We'll see each other again. And there we are. I think we might soon actually be able to take control of our character. There we go, there's a nice look at Rolf, the main character. He's our Cloud, our Joker, our Yu Narukami. He's our main character. This is a character-driven JRPG. It's not one of those ones where everyone's just a thief, an assassin, whatever. Each class is a character. After going home and preparing for the trip, Nay seemed worried. Nay, I have to leave for a while. Nay stared at me for a moment. Remembered when we first met, he looked at me in just the same way 7 months ago. Because he was the product of a mixture of human cells and those of a bio monster, which I assume is why she's some sort of cat girl. She was an outcast from society. You were still small when we first met, but now you can take care of yourself. Is he narrating all of this to her or something? Too dangerous for you. Or about you like you were my sister. Still, Nay stood in the doorway to keep me from leaving. Please, Rolf, take me with you. I'll do anything for you. I took my sack and started to go. They really need to learn to use like quotation marks to differentiate speech from text. Took my sack and started to go, but Nay still blocked the way. I had no choice. I decided to let her come with me. Clearly, he's not very good at putting his foot down if that was all it took. But here we are. Here we are in the town of Paseo. We have our main character, Rolf, followed by Nay. As far as I can gather, Rolf is, as is often the case with JRPG characters, main characters, he's like our all-rounder. He can do a little bit of everything. Nay, it's kind of like Tifa, other monk-like characters. It appears he's a bit of a fast attacker. Nope, that's the pause button. Let me try and figure out what each button does. Okay, so this is our menu. We can look at items. We've equipped a knife. That's our gear, I assume. Nay, on the other hand, has a ribbon, carbon vest, and sandals. Right, we can press square to go back. Again, I'm just trying to figure out what the states are. States, so this is our stats, I suppose. Looks like Rolf is a little bit tankier than Nay, and also got a bit more TP, which I'm assuming is our MP, energy meter, whatever, the one you gotta use for abilities and the like. And order, I think this is the order that you have characters in a fight. I haven't practiced yet, so we're not quite sure, but let's see. If roll, oh, okay, it's automatically gonna put them in, but that was the order I was going for anyway, so it works. Tech. Rolf can't use techniques, okay. Oh, I'm assuming this is healing. Okay, maybe Nay is our healer then. Maybe I got it wrong. Strang? Oh, this is like full stats, so strength, mental, agility, luck, dexterity, attack, and defense. I'm sure we'll figure out what all of this means as we go ahead. But from the looks of it, we can go and equip armor on our head, on our body and our legs, and then we can have up to 2 weapons. Nay, I imagine is similar. Let's see. Strength is going to be just our general attack stat, so Rolf is our main attacker. I'm going to assume defense. Oh, Nay's a bit tankier. Who knows? I'm sure we'll figure it out as we go along what each character can do. But anyway, As with a lot of these older JRPGs, one of the things we really want to be doing is talking to everyone in town. This old priest, thanks to the Biosystems Lab, Mota flourished, because that's going to help us figure out what we're actually doing. My dad's just goofing off every day. He says he can live without working. I'm sure he can. Do not get close to the bridge on the North River. Many people have been killed there by a man named Daroom. Oof. Unfortunate. If there's something you would like to know about Mota, you should go to the library at the Central Tower. So, this is our house. But no time to relax before you guide again. You better check your companions. Right now I'm just journeying with Nay. So continue on our quest without any changes. Yes, let's go. Lost parents at age 10. Healthy and has broad range of knowledge. Well, there we are. What about Nay? Nay means the human who is not a human. Lithe and agile, like an animal, she hates carrying a heavy load. No job. Unemployed. Gainfully unemployed, I am sure. There doesn't seem to be any problems. Be on your way. There we go. So our house is where we go and equip new party members once we find some. Seems to be nothing unusual here. Basic building. This time is peaceful. I'm glad I moved here from Arima. I believe that's actually where we're going according to the guide. It hasn't rained at all for a while. The lake even dried up. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Red building. What's red building going to be? Welcome to my shop. What can I do for you? Is this where we buy armor, it appears? Now, we only have 200 currency. It's called Masata, something like that. Now, we're not going to be spending any of it on this stuff. We actually want to go and use it on buying some weapons. So, we'll look around and see whether we can find the weapon shop. I don't think this is it. I think this is alcohol. Is this just going to be like a simple store? Ah, it looks like this is where you buy consumables then. Monomats, dynamites, antidotes, telepipes, escape pipes. I believe these are like escape ropes and Pokemon, and then these are potions and ethers and that sort of thing. Goodbye and come again. There we are. When I grow up, I'm going to be a thief. Not saying you should be boasting to everyone, all and sundry. You should go back home when you get to a strange town. There might be some strange who comes looking for you. That is apparently indeed how you get new characters. They just kind of appear in your house and you don't question it. Right. According to the guide, what we want to buy here in Arima is... Oh no, Paseo. Sorry, Arima's where we're going next. What we want to buy while we're here, we want to get 2 steel bars for Nay. Sorry, triangle. Okay, which one of you lugs is going to hold it? Nay, please. Here you go, take it. Do you want anything else? Yes, I do. I want another steel bar. Which one of you lugs is going to hold it? Nay again. Here you go, take it. Do you want anything else? No, I don't believe so. They only clarify steel bars for Nay. There you go, use it or lose it. Later, ace. Now if we go back into our menu just to check, we should see that Nay has 2 steel bars, but we want to equip them. Nay uses steel bar, nothing happens. Right. Oh, is it down here at the bottom? The menus aren't the most intuitive, in all honesty. But we want to equip steel bars on both hands, I assume. Nay takes steel bars. There we go. Nay fully stocked up there. What about Rolf? We'll just have to do. I'm going to go out on the guide's limb. It doesn't say anything about giving anything to Rolf, so maybe he's just buying things for his sister, friend, whatever Nay ends up being relationship-wise. From now on, women should be armed and should fight. I believe in that. Very forward-thinking. Let's see. Boy, I think this is the bit we came from. Let's just see what else is here in the main town. I've already talked to you. You're the old priest from earlier. Seems to be nothing unusual here. This is the central tower area. couple more houses, I suppose. Blocked by a tree. This is Paseo, the capital of Mota. Mota, I'm taking it, is a planet. They say that if you go to the North Bridge, a guy named Darum will rob you of your money. Let's not go that way then. What's here? Data memory. Rolf needs 29 points to go up a level. Nay needs 12 points to go up a level. You want to put your memories and experiences into storage. I have no idea what that means, no, I don't. But yeah, it's apparently Nay, for some reason or another, levels up twice as fast as everyone else. So, gonna look at that. Well, you are armed and look so brave, but if you don't keep your weapons in good shape, they are worth nothing. Very true. Right. Let's see, where are we going? Right, two more buildings I believe we have here. We have whatever this is. Teleport station. Just 60 Meseta. We can teleport you to any town which you know of. If you know the name of the town, you can use our service and come again later. Well, apparently we haven't gone anywhere before, so can't do much there. Hunters are the coolest guys. They're really strong and so dependable. Hospital. This is where we can heal ourselves and apparently cure ourselves of presumably status ailments. Nobody seems to be injured. Anyone need to be cured? No. Take care, goodbye. We'll be coming here for a while, a couple of times. Alright, one more building and then we'll leave. Welcome to the Clone Labs. Who would you like to have returned to you? Rolf, why no? It's no place for stupid jokes. Alright, here you go. The Clone Labs is apparently where we resurrect dead party members, but with all of that, I believe we should be free to go into the overworld now. Let's see. Now, apparently we are very, very weak at level 1, so apparently we want to just walk around and go and grind for a little bit beforehand. So this is where we get to see our battle system. Phantasy Star 2 was a big game at the time because it was one of the first games to have animated battles, apparently. Nothing particularly impressive for the modern day, but for the time, you know, it's a lot big deal. So we have fight, which from what I can gather basically just goes and gets our characters to randomly attack people at random. Without any real thought. We'll see how well this goes. Worst comes to worst, we just go back to town and heal up. We are right outside at the end of the day. Oh. I gotta be honest, Rolf really isn't doing all that much. Isn't he just defending? Is that what she's doing? Looking at it, she's got a shield on her icon, so it looks like he isn't actually attacking. Yeah, that's right. I want both of you to fight. I don't want just Rolf to be running around. There we are. And look at that, once both people are actually pulling their weight, all of a sudden, the whole thing gets a bit faster. But it is a bit strange in that, rather than having the usual turn-based thing of, you know, you go and do whatever you're doing, the game automatically puts it in. You gotta do the full strategy, and then press the fight button manually. So it's a bit strange, but whatever, it works. So apparently we want to grind around here, just around Paseo, until Rolf ends up at level 4. Nay will be around level 7 at that point. We'll just see how well just pressing the fight button works. Most likely I'll probably end up skipping ahead because, you know, this will likely take a while. But we'll just see how well this goes. I would say good practice for the future, but to be honest, I think this is just going to be, this early stage, a lot of sitting around and watching people slowly whittle away at each other. Rolf and party are victorious, 5 experience points, receive 50 Meseta. This could take a while. I think we'll do one more fight, go back to the hospital, and then I think I'm going to cut the cameras, and we'll see each other once we're at the proper level. One more fight though, before we do that, against these fire ants. I'll be honest, it's a little bit difficult to tell what people are actually doing a lot of the time. It's pretty easy to tell when you know, a character is fighting, but in terms of what the enemies are doing, there's no notification up the top to say how much damage they're doing, so you just kind of gotta look down and hope for the best. Experience points, see 50 Mota, Nay gains the level, new HP maximum, new TP maximum. Let's go heal and see what that actually looks like in practice. This could take a while. We are very slow. Right, on my way, little girl. I gotta get to the hospital. My weird cat ghost sisters, very damaged. 16 Mota cure care for you. Luckily, it seems that we're not actually. We'll be pretty much in profit as long as we win any fight before needing to get to it. There we go. Does anyone else need to be cured? No, especially if they're going to charge me for it. Clearly, Paseo does not invest in free healthcare. But anyway, let's go see what happens. I'll be back with you guys once we've got up to level 4. Right, I believe this should be the final battle to get us up to level 4, which is the point we want to be at before we progress forward. I have learned a few things about what's going on. So the strategy system that I was describing earlier, you have a bunch of things. I'm not entirely sure what that does. It's your inventory. I assume once you start getting potions and stuff, that's where you use that for, but we haven't got any so far. That's our defensive option. Appears in plenty of RPGs. This is our technique option, so Nay has a healing spell, but Rolf has something called Foy, which is basically a fireball. And beyond that, we generally just, at this early stage at least, just want to let characters attack to get through fights early. No one's doing anything complicated enough to really require that much thought or strategy. Rolf and party victorious, 5 experience points. That should get over the threshold. Rolf gains a level, there we are, we're now level 4. Learned a new technique. Nay gains a level, new HP maximum, new TP maximum. We'll go back to Paseo, and we need to do a couple of things before we can finally move on properly. So technique, Rolf. Ryuka. Don't know what that does. Not a very handy name. I know that he does learn to teleport, maybe it's that. I'm not entirely sure. That it lets you get out of dungeons and stuff a lot more easily. I believe that might be it. Ryuka is vaguely familiar in the back of my head. Anyway, healing, we'll just do that quickly. You can see that we've gained plenty of Mota. But we'll quickly heal up, that also fills up our TP. No one needs to be cured, no one's got any stale ailment. Stale ailments? No one's got any status ailments yet. And then one last thing we're going to do before we leave is we just need to buy a couple of things for Rolf. The guide says that at this point Nay should be at level 7, but looking at it, oh, she is level 7, okay. She leveled up one more time than I realised. She was in a slightly better position than I thought. But anyway, there's a couple of things we want to buy with our new bountiful amount of Mota. We want to buy one more knife for Rolf. Okay, which one of you lugs is going to hold it? That will be Rolf. Don't think we want anything more from this guy yet. No. There you go. Use it or lose it. Later ace. There we go. So we'll go and equip that once we just come down here and grab a couple of things from the armor store. We want to buy 2 pieces of armor for Rolf here. We want to buy a headgear. Which one of you is going to take it? That, once again, will be Rolf. Take it. Do you want anything else? Yes, I do. I also want the fiber coat, which we have just enough money to get. Ulug's going to take it. Rolf again. No. Hopefully now he's got a new weapon and he's got some more armor. Rolf will be slightly more useful than he has been up until this point because frankly he hasn't been amazing. Nay has definitely been pulling the weight here. Right. Equip our other knife in our left hand. Hopefully that means he can attack twice now instead of just the once. Then we can equip the headgear, stick it, unsurprisingly, on our head, and carbon suit should hopefully up our defense. It's now 30. What was it with the carbon suit? 26. There we are. Don't think any of our other stats improve, no. But there we are. We're now in a better position. If we square and check that to Nay, who I think still has slightly better attack than Rolf. Oh no, we have better attack, but he has better agility, whatever that means. I think that might just be dodging attacks more easily, because he does seem to take less damage than Rolf does. Now we're fully healed up, and we're fully stocked up. We're just going to take one more trip in Paseo, one more building. Just back up into this corner to the data storage thing from earlier. I was a little confused what it does, but it's just an in-universe explanation for saving. That's all it is. So data memory, Rolf needs 109 points. I assumed it was something to do with levels, but in reality, all it really is just a saving feature. Some of us who we save them in, save it back into playthrough. Is it okay to erase it? Yes. Please don't make me do this every single time that I save. This is not a particularly quick game to type things in. All memories and experiences saved. Are you going to adventure some more? Oh, I see. Good luck. Yes, I am. Right. With that, we should be good to continue. We can now leave Paseo and finally head through this tunnel up here, which has been teasing us the entire time. I believe it should just be a case of walking through it. I assume enemies or whatever have a chance of appearing. But now we are in a much larger environment. Now, if we wanted to go to the biolabs, that would be to the left. But that's through the tunnel that the villain Daroom is guarding. Oh, new enemy. These guys should be pretty quick. Let's... Oh, okay, they're going first. Fantastic. Typical. It should be fairly quick. Let's see how Rolf does now that he's got his new gear. Oh, they're really going for Nate. Oh, yes, that's much better. It's dealing much more damage and he's attacking twice. That's what I like to see. Party victorious for experience points. Big Mosetta. Right, so I believe that this is the tunnel we need to go through eventually. But we can't go through it because there's this guy. The room. Tried to kill Nay 7 months ago. This is bad news. Let's go back for a while. So this is where we need to go eventually, but not yet. We need to be heading up this way instead to the town of Arima, which is kind of to the northeast of the area. So once we get through all of these mosquitoes, I will say that I do like the enemy designs. They're right freaky. Obviously quite simple, you know, time and all of that considered. But it is an interesting thing. If you look at the box art of Phantasy Star 2, there's some of the biomutants on there, and they're quite interesting looking. Kinda strange body features that all merge together. Right, it just said trees, so is there a bridge along here somewhere? Oh. Right. We are going to go and order Rolf to use a foy on the poisoner. But otherwise, stay the same. The fact that we can't use the Ryuka in battle is further proof to me that it is probably intended as the teleport. Because you obviously can't use it in battle. It's got to have some sort of utility outside of it. Right, we're just looking for another bridge somewhere. Is this it? It's another town. Yep, I believe this is it. on the basis that Arima is apparently a town that's been bombarded by a group of bad guys. That looks like a pretty bombarded town, so I reckon we're in the right place. Talk to everyone, of course. Why in the world did you come to... Yeah, there we are. We're in Arima. Such a horrible place. You're not wrong. This is pretty miserable. I know the hideout of those scoundrels at a building in... Sure. We have more weapons here. They'll come in useful later, I am sure. Scoundrels must have 2 more dynamite sticks. Unless we take them away, another town will be destroyed. They did all of this with 2 dynamite sticks? Wow. That's something. I just want to talk to everyone. If only those scoundrels hadn't come to this town, Darum and his daughter Tiame could have lived a happy life. Darum is the bad guy blocking the tunnel, so let's see what's going on there. What's most frightening is humans, not monsters. Scoundrels always come from the east. They'll give us directions towards shore, I'm sure. Darum is not a bad guy. The reason he became violent is that his daughter Tiame was kidnapped. There we are. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we probably need to go and find this Tiame then. Gone stole all the food, killed all the men, kidnapped all of the women. Well, your men, so the Kili didn't kill all of you. Those who are left here are just the powerless who are only waiting to die. God, you guys are so emo. Hear that those bad guys are very cautious and keep their stuff in a locked container. I think that's just basic precautions there. If they're a bunch of thieves and scoundrels, they're probably well aware of the fact that they didn't lock it away, so just steal it as well. Okay, we've already talked to you. Alright, that should be everything. It's just the hospital there. It may seem like a bit of a redundant village, but in reality, it's actually quite useful. Because if we head back to Paseo from here, we'll have to try and find our way. I think it's just back this way, yes. Yep. Oh, great. Blocked by the spheres. I assume that these are the pods that they were saying the Mother Brain constructed to keep everyone safe. I'm assuming that's why we have this strange grid outside of the regions. Just quickly deal with the mosquitoes. Come on, Nate. There we go. Rolf party, more money. Thank you. I think we should just be good. Go all of the way around. Okay, fantastic. Mosquito and a fire ant. I'm not quite sure how the speed stat works, or whatever the equivalent of the speed stat is. Sometimes the enemies are going before us, sometimes they're not, despite being the same enemy. I don't know whether it's the sort of RPG that gives you that sort of, like, mild ranges in which enemy stats can sit rather than exact numbers. Maybe that's it. But I will say that it seems that outside of HP and TP, it seems that the majority of our stats improvements will come from equipment instead of leveling up, because maybe they are improving. I haven't really looked into the full stat menus, but it's not given any sort of notice when we're leveling up that our other stats are improving, just HP and TP. Right, over the bridge, through, okay, one more fight, and then through the tunnel. Do a little bit of foy on the poisoners, because they're the tankiest enemies we'll be meeting at this point. Boom. Right, no need to go and waste more TP on another foy. We'll just attack. Fight, get rid of the bee. I think they're the enemies on the box art, to be honest. They look quite similar. There we go. Through the tunnel there. Come on, get through the tunnel. I don't want to go fight more enemies. We're not really at a point where the enemies are particularly interesting yet. But if we just head back into Paseo and go back to our town and slowly, tediously walk back to our house. How come we're the only people who only person who seems to get a full-on house while everyone lives in an apartment block? There's a knock at the door. Sorry to intrude, but I've heard that Rolf, in all caps, and Nay are trying to solve the mystery of the biomonsters. I'm a professional biomonster hunter. No talent except that I am good with a gun. I also want to go with you. My name is Rudo, which is short for Rudolf Steiner. Maybe you think you know a better name for me. Dude, you don't... That's not really a greeting. You can't just go to someone and be like, can you change my name for me, please? No. Rudolf Steiner is a fine name. Your name fits you well. I'm glad to have you in our group. Let's check the roster at the point where Rudo came in. Right, apparently we want to go and reorganize people with all of these now. We want to go and add Rudo to the party. Much more reassuring. Let's get going. Okay, well, I want to do some other things first, but okay, I'm sure we can go. There we go. His full stats. His strength's amazing. He's got guns already. His attack's not fantastic. I'm not quite sure what the difference between strength and attack is quite yet, but I'm sure we'll figure it out over time. Oh, more options. Techniques. Does Rudo have any? Rudo can't use techniques. Okay. Where was it that we... Yes. Okay, there's the order. We want Rudo first, then Rolf, and then Nay. Rudo, apparently is the tankiest, so apparently we want him in the lead. So, with that, we'll go save, and then we want to go head back to Arima, because the unfortunate problem is, with every new character we get, they all start at level 1. It appears that they are leveled appropriately, so their stats are kinda in the right place, but their levels are very low, so we are going to want to go and grind a little bit to level everyone up. Do you want to put your memories and experiences into storage? Yes. Can I just, like, save and then not stick a name in? Yeah, it looks like we can. That's good. Right, with that, we're going to leave. Oh. Exit from the barn, which means we can't just go straight into the tunnel. But with that, we're now going to leave, and we're going to head back to Arima, because there are some good items in there. We might need to do a little bit of grinding, depending on how expensive it all is. But hopefully we'll be able to get the money as we just walk over there. Right. Well, once again, as always, give Rolf Foy on the poisoners. What can Rudo do? Can Rudo do anything? No, don't want to do that. I want to... Okay, doesn't know any techniques at all. I'll just attack then, that's fine. In that case, everyone else, get to work. Let's see how much... I want to see how much damage Rudo does. Oh, that's nothing. Okay. I don't want to waste TP on the last beast, so just basic attacks. Should be good. I mean, he's fast, so he'll probably do it anyway. Yeah, unfortunately, XP is quite slow. The grind, I imagine, is going to get quite tedious by the end of it. Because characters take a while to level up, and they just are not getting it, at least from these basic enemies. 3 experience points, seriously. I need, what was it, 30 to get Rudo up to the next level? Ridiculous. Bees and mosquitoes, come on. Slowly wait for them all to disappear, come on. I don't like how the mosquitoes, their necks, like, extend out towards you, it's freaky. But there we are, Rudo and the party. Victorious. Come on, let's just get to Arima. See whether we got the money we need. Fire ants and bees, alright. I don't know why it's all a bunch of bugs and then we just have these poisoner, which look a lot more like snakes, but, you know, there we are, I guess. You'd think a gun would be more powerful than whatever, what was it, Nate's got a bunch of iron bars, steel bars. You'd think a gun does more than that, wouldn't you? But maybe that's the human hybrid thing going on there, the mutant going on. So of course we have got the hospital, that's the cloning lab, I believe, in case any of our characters die. Don't need to worry about that. We just want to look at the weapon store, because there's apparently some stuff here. Apparently we do want Rolf to get to about level 7, and then once that's occurred, we want to buy some things from here. So we want to buy a sword for Rolf, and then we want to buy 2 sonic guns for Rudo, and then we'll head back to Paseo again, I believe. So there's a whole load of things, but we'll see. I imagine we'll need to do a fair bit more grinding because we've got nowhere near the money to do all of that. So, tedious again, but I'm gonna go and leave you guys once more. We're gonna grind Rolf up to about level 7. That should hopefully get us the currency we require to get all of the items we need from here. So, I'll see you guys in just a moment. It's interesting how different games of this era manage to justify their length, considering their simplicity and the rest of that. Some of them were, you know, ridiculously difficult. Others were built to be really replayable. And I think the way that Phantasy Star 2 tried to justify it is by being quite possibly the stingiest JRPG I've yet played, at least when it comes to experience points. I do not want to say, I don't want to even think about how long it's taken me to go from level 4 to level 7. That really shouldn't be that long, but I've probably been here for hours and hours, because enemies will drop reliably maybe 4 experience points per fight. And already at this stage we need hundreds and hundreds of XP to level up even once. But we are finally at the levels that are recommended, and we have plenty of money. So we can head back into town, back into Arima. We can go down to the weapon store and buy what we need for the next fight. So that is a sword for Rolf. It's pretty simple. There you go. Rolf is a sword. And then we want to buy 2 sonic guns for Rudo. You have a couple of choices here. You could buy the shotgun, because apparently that allows him to attack multiple enemies, but the sonic guns deal a lot more damage. So we're going to go with that. I think, at least based on what we've done so far, that's probably the more sensible option. There you go. No, I don't want anything more, but thank you for all of that. Now I just need to equip it all. So Rudo, who is up to this point been using 2 bowguns? How's he using 2 bowguns? These? Oh, it's a double-handed weapon, it might be. Yeah, there you go, bowguns double-handed. And then in your left hand, you'll use another sonic gun. And then Rolf, you're going to drop the knife. I should have selected the sword first. And that disables the other knife because it's a double-handed weapon. There's not really any kind of way to tell, but you just kind of have to figure it out. Right. There are a couple of things we want to do before we head on to the first real dungeon in the game. Obviously, all of this has just been grinding effectively, but we haven't actually reached a proper, true dungeon yet. That's going to be at the start of the next episode. But we do want to just grab a couple more things over in Paseo. But let's see, how does the fight go now that everyone's a little bit more... Oh, you don't know how good that feels seeing a 23 on there. Rudo still not doing great damage. I thought he'd do slightly better than that, but well, I suppose it's fine. Now, unfortunately, there isn't really any quick way to get back to Paseo. You just kind of have to go walk around. There is the teleport, but then that's using up TP, which you don't really need to bother doing. I should also clarify that because we're at level 7, Rolf has learnt a new ability that allows him to teleport out of dungeons if we feel we're in danger. But we'll see whether that's necessary. We probably want to stock up on the escape rope items anyway. You know, just in case we run out of TP. Oh, 25, that's so good to see. After hours and hours of just watching him do like 4 damage, 6 damage, 7 damage, just seeing him pull out a 23. It's glorious. In a single attack as well. I am hoping that things do get a bit faster going as we progress. It does look like enemy XP amounts do grow quite quickly, but then that might also be because our requirements to level up also go up quite significantly. Right, now we're back in Paseo. We want to head over to the tool shop. All of the way over here. I think it's this one. Yep. We do want to sell our unused items as well. So we want to get rid of the bowgun. We want to get rid of everything we're not using. We're not going to need any of it in the future. Oh, that's good to see some decent money coming in. Right. Rolf has plenty to get rid of. He's got the knife. Okay, it'll be a couple of times. He's got the carbon suit and then he's got another knife. There we go. This is getting us a fair bit of money. And I'm not sure whether Nay has anything, but we might as well check. No. Okay. And now we need to go in there and we need to stock up on a couple of items. So first of all, we want to buy an escape pipe. I believe it's an escape pipe we need anyway. Yeah, we want to buy one escape pipe just as a safety precaution. And, you know, give it to anyone. That's just... I mean, Nay's got plenty of room in the inventory. We'll just stick it in Rudo because he's the first one on our list. So, you know, if we need it. And then it's D-mates, whatever it is. Health potions, effectively. So just, you know, give them to Nay or whatever. Let's buy 6 of them. We'll buy one more. One more for Rudo. And that should be good. Anything else? No, I don't believe so. Now, with that, we are ready for the next dungeon of the game. Or don't know what I'm saying next. It's the first dungeon of the game. And that's over in Shore, which is a little further on from the Arima location. But we'll handle that in the next episode. We'll just save up for now, and then we'll finish up. We can finally come in here. The central tower in Paseo, the capital of Mota. Where to? What's in the room? How you doing? Is there something I can do for you? Okay, so we can leave our items here if needs be. Okay, so that's where we can store items if we end up overstocking on equipment or healing potions or whatever. What's in the library though? Enter the library, understand that Rolf and the others are going to the biosystem lab to get the recorder. We'll find out about something here. Please choose a title. Mota used to be a desert, but since Mother Brain was brought in, Mota has become a green planet. Development was made based on meticulous plans. Mother Brain created things like the Biosystems Lab, Climatrol, etc. Is there anything you'd like to know about? So what are the biosystems? Biosystems Lab, our ultimate goal, is where creatures suitable to live on Mota are created through breed improvements. So eugenics, effectively, I guess. All DNA data of Algo are stored there. The reason why Mota was turned into the largest agricultural planet in Algo is owed to the work of this Biosystems Lab. So Algo's the kind of overarching setting of the Phantasy Star series. Different games, different planets, but Algo overall is where the entire series takes place. However, 2 years ago, one accident which happened in the Biosystems Lab brought about a creature that is dangerous to humans. Biosystems Lab was shut down immediately, but no report on the cause or remedy has been made yet. Okay, Climatrol is a system to adjust the weather of Mota. It controls the temperature and maintains the proper amount of rainfall and so on. Mota was originally a very dry planet with no natural rainfall. You can kind of see a little bit of the desert below us in this area. So the existence of Climatrol is essential now. The dams. There are rivers running in all 4 directions, east, west, south and north, from a lake. There are dams built between each river and the lake. They control the amount of water flowing into the rivers. The name of the dams are, rather boringly, Green Dam, unimaginatively, Green Dam, Yellow Dam, Red Dam and Blue Dam. In order to enter each dam, a card whose colour matches the colour of the dam is required. These cards are supposed to be in a control tower, but its location is a secret. Also, the smallest dams, the Red Dam, the structures get more complicated in the order of yellow, blue and green. I have no doubt that we'll end up having to go into them at some point. And then Mother Brain, who I'm assuming is not the one from Metroid. Mother Brain is a huge computer with enough power to control everything in the world of Algo. Our life is monitored and is supported by Mother Brain. Mother Brain was brought into Palm in the year AW845, then the network spread to Mota and Dezo. So I'm going to assume those are 2 other planets in the system, I guess, Palm and Dezo. There's Mother Brain, which controls the systems such as the Biosystems Lab, Climatrol, the dams and so on. Thus Mother Brain is essential to our life, but nobody knows who made Mother Brain or where it is. Well, that doesn't bode well. You think there'd be some degree of public responsibility that would require them to be like, yeah, this is where the operator of every single system on the planet is, because when something goes wrong, well, now you need to know. Rudy needs 240 points, 408 points, Nay needs 202 points. Well, there we are. That'll be it for today's episode. In the next episode, we're going to head over to the first dungeon in the game, sure, to go deal with the guys who blew up our Arima. But until then, I'll save up, and I'd like to say thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Tune in next time, but for now, adios and ciao.